Okay, hi. My name is Nithilan. Today I'm going to talk about a serial killer. So, introduction. A serial killer, also called as a serial murderer, is a person who murders three or more people with killing taking place over the significance of the time and separate events. The psychological process behind the serial killer typically involves several interrelated factors, including personal traits, environmental influence, and potential biological predisposition. Okay, now if we see him, a person that a serial killer has two factors. It has many factors to become a serial killer lah. So first thing is his early life experience. Okay, many serial killer has traumatic background, including abuse or neglect, which can shape their worldwide and emotional response. Okay, that's first. Which is the early life influence lah, means they are being bullied by others or anything like that. Okay, second, psychology traits is something like maybe they affected by mentally, so that they decide to do killing others, so that will make them happy or something kind. It's about the mental issues lah, so they are killing others. Okay, so in my hypothesis, I hypothesize that the interaction between early traumatic experience and specific personality traits combined with the development of violent fatalities and creates a pathway that can lead to serial killing. Okay, the importance of understanding this process, prevention. Okay, by identifying risk factors and early warn sign, mental health professionals and law enforcement can intervene before a potential killer acts on the impulse. Okay, now I am going to talk about the methodology. Okay, first about the experimental procedure of serial killer. Okay, first experimental procedure is participation selection. Required individuals with a history of violent behavior or diagnosis with antisocial personality disorder. Include a control of group individuals without such histories to compare result. Okay, second, psychology assessment. Administrated standard psychology test to evaluate traits such as empathy, impulsivity, and aggression. Commonly test might include the Harris psychopathy checklist, the Barrett impulsive scale, and empathy quotient. Okay. Third, interview. Conduct structured interview to explore participation background focused in on childhood trauma, family disorder, family dynamics, and significant life events. Okay, so these are the experimental process of a serial killer. So testing psychology process, we can test by personal traits. By assessing traits like psychopath and impulsivity, researchers can understand how to characteristic correlate with violent behavior. Second, impact of early experience. Interview focused on child trauma can reveal patterns that may predispose individuals to violent behavior. Then the last one is decision making process. Behavior task can demonstrate how individuals with violent tendency process moral dilemmas to compare to non-violent individuals. Decision making process is like what now the person who is a person a serial killer, he will be tested by this decision making process, which is they will ask some questions to the what serial killer, so which the what they will find out whether he is becoming violent or not. If he didn't become violent or something, he is not a serial killer. But if he react violently, which is can affect others, so that means he is a serial killer. But the question should be uh, asked by the psychiatrist or all of them. So that's all. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rashika, and today I'll present the result of our analysis on the psychological processes influencing the behavior of psycho killers. To aid your understanding, I'll use visual aids that highlights the key findings. The first point is psychological traits. The visual is chart of common disorders, for example, psychopathy. The point is, most exhibit traits like lack of empathy and manipulativeness. The second point is early trauma and environment. The visual is flowchart linking trauma and negative influences to violent behavior. The point is early trauma and dysfunctional environment play critical roles. The third point is cognitive distortions. Visual is infographic of thought patterns justifying violence. The point is, killers often have distorted thinking that rationalizes their actions. The last point is hypothesis support. The visual is graph comparing psychological factors versus the situational cases. The point is, the hypothesis is supported, but they are expectations. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Sanjeev. Today I'll be discussing the psychological process behind the behavior of psycho killers, how these processes influence their action, and whether our understanding support the hypothesis that deep-seated psychological issues drive their violent behavior. For many, serious personality disorder like psychopathy contribute to a lack of empathy or remorse, making violence easier to justify. Often, this stems from painful childhood experience like abuse or neglect, which leave lasting scars. And when these people are isolated or in negative environments, it can make things even worse. So, are violent actions usually linked to the psychological issue? In most cases, yes. Studies show that a mix of personal struggles and environmental influences often pushes people toward violent behavior. However, there are exceptions where someone without this issue might snap due to stress or a sudden break from reality. So here what we can learn from this analysis. There's no single answer. Human behavior is complex and shaped by many factors. So secondly, early support and intervention can make a real difference for those at risk. Third, real life isn't like the movies. Motivation behind violence are layered and complicated. In the end, we can see that violence is rarely about just one thing. Thank you. And research on serial killers highlights a complex mix of psychological, social, and biological factors shaping human behavior, such as early trauma, mental health issue, and environmental influences are often significant in these cases, but do not guarantee criminal behavior, underscoring individual complexity. This insight help refine mental health treatments and preventive measures. However, limitations such as small sample size, selection bias, and ethical concerns mean findings should be viewed cautiously as they provide only a limited understanding of broader human behavior.